Hello friends, welcome to this fourth video lecture on influence line diagrams. In last three video lectures, we have discussed influence line diagrams for simply supported beam, especially for variation of reactions, variation of shear forces at a section and variation of bending moment at a section. Also we discussed the applications of influence line diagrams when a simply supported beam is subjected to dead loads, and in that case how to find out the reactions, how to find out the shear force at a section, and how to find out the bending moment at a section. Now in this video lecture, we will be going to discuss the applications of influence line diagrams for beam is subjected to live loads. Now let us discuss some examples on moving loads. Now there are different types of moving loads when a beam is subjected, like a point load, like a pair of point loads, series of loads. It is also called as a rolling loads. Uniformly distributed loads. Now uniformly distributed load can be again divided into two cases: when length of UDL is less than the span of beam and when length of UDL is more than the span of a beam. Now in this particular video, we'll be discussing only examples on point loads and pair of point loads. The rest of examples on a uniformly distributed load we will be discussing in the next video. Now for that, let us discuss one example. A 200 kilonewton wheel load moves over a simply supported girder of a span 12 meter from one end to the other end. Find number A, maximum reactions at A and B, maximum shear force at a distance 4 meter from the left end, and number C, maximum bending moment at a distance 4 meter from left end. Now here we have this simply supported beam of total 12 meter span. Now this simply supported beam is subjected to this wheel load which is moving from left to right end on this beam. When it is subjected to a moving load which moves over a beam from left to right end, and we have to find out maximum reaction at A, maximum reaction at B. Also we have to find out maximum shear force at a distance 4 meter from left end and maximum bending moment at a distance 4 meter from left end. Now let us discuss first how to find out the maximum reaction at A. Now for that, once again we'll consider this simply supported beam of length 12 meter. Now first of all, to find out the maximum reaction at A, we need to draw the influence line diagram for reaction at A. Now if you see this is the influence line diagram for reaction at A. As we know that it varies from 1 to 0. As it varies from 1 to 0, now in order to get maximum reaction at A, we need to place a moving load of 200 kilonewton over this simply supported beam AB. As we discussed in the last video, that to find out the reaction, we need to multiply a point load to the respective ordinate. So in order to get a maximum reaction at A, your ordinate should be maximum 1. Hence, if you see this diagram now, at a point A, you are having a maximum ordinate is equal to 1. So in order to get maximum reaction at A, we need to place a 200 kilonewton exactly at A. So in this case, to find out the maximum reaction at A, you have to multiply this this point load by the respective ordinate. So here RA will be equal to 200 into 1 is equal to 200 kilonewton. If you place this 200 kilonewton other than this point A, then what will happen? If you see the ordinates of this diagram, they are going on decreasing from 1 to 0. So other than point A, everywhere you can find the ordinate will be less than 1. So hence if you are placing 200 kilonewton other than point A, you will be getting less reaction. So only for this particular position of point load of 200 kilonewton, you will be getting maximum reaction at A, which is equal to 200 kilonewton in this case. Now let us go for maximum reaction at B. Similarly, to find the maximum reaction at B, we need to again draw influence line diagram for reaction at B. So this is the influence line diagram for reaction at B, which varies from 0 to 1. As it varies from here 0 to 1 now, so here we can observe that the maximum ordinate, that is equal to 1, is exactly at B. So in order to get maximum reaction at B, we need to place 200 kilonewton exactly at B. So in this case, you have to find out the maximum reaction at B is equal to 200 into 1, that is equal to 200 kilonewton. So if you are placing this 200 kilonewton other than this point B, everywhere you can see that the ordinates are going on decreasing, so you will not be getting maximum reaction other than point B. So hence you need to place this 200 kilonewton exactly at a point B. Okay, so after now discussing maximum reaction, let us go for shear forces. Now to find out maximum shear force at a point C, now here what is point C? This is one point which is at a 4 meter from the left hand, which is given in the example. So here for this position of a point C, here we need to first define what is our A and what is our B. So here small a is equal to 4 and small b is equal to 8. Now by taking small a is equal to 4 and small b is equal to 8, first of all we need to draw the standard influence line diagram for shear force at C. So this is the influence line diagram for shear force at C, which varies from 0 to minus a by L and then from plus b by L to 0. Here minus a by L is nothing but it is 0.33. By taking 4 upon total 12, you will be getting this 0.33, and here b upon L you will be getting as 0.67. So in this way we get the maximum ordinates for this shear forces, influence line diagram for shear forces. Now to get the maximum shear force, now we will again divide this case into again two parts. First we'll discuss the maximum positive shear force at a point C. Now how to get this maximum positive shear force at a point C? Now if you see this influence line diagram, here this part which is right side of this point C, you can see this is a positive part. So whatever loads we have to place, all those loads we have to place over a positive part. So in order to get now maximum positive shear force at a point C, we need to place this 200 kilonewton over this point C now. So hence when we are placing this 200 kilonewton at a point C, to get maximum positive shear force, we need to consider this maximum ordinate, that is equal to 0.67. So you will be getting here maximum positive shear force as 200 into 0.67, that is equal to 134 kilonewton. Now it indicates that we have placed this 200 kilonewton force over C, which is just right of point C. When we are placing it just right of point C, then your respective ordinate will be is equal to 0.67. Hence it is equal to now 134 kilonewton. Now similarly we can find out the maximum negative shear force. Now to get this maximum negative shear force, we need to place this 200 kilonewton again at C, but now in this case it will be just left of this point C. So when you are going to place this 200 kilonewton just left of point C, you need to consider the ordinate, that is equal to 0.33, which is on negative side. Hence you have to find maximum negative shear force as 200 into 0.33, that is equal to 66 kilonewton. Okay. Now next, maximum bending moment at a point C. Now to find the maximum bending moment at a point C, first of all we need to draw the standard influence line diagram for bending moment at a point C, which is equal to now AB by L, which is the maximum ordinate here, that is equal to 2.67. Now how we can take A and B? Here A will be equal to 4 and B is equal to 8. In this case you will be getting maximum ordinate as 2.67. Now in order to get maximum bending moment at a point C, we need to place our unit point load exactly over this point C where we have this maximum ordinate, that is equal to 2.67. Hence you can find out maximum bending moment at a point C, that is equal to 200 into 2.67 is equal to 533.33 kilonewton meter. If you place this 200 kilonewton other than this point C, everywhere you can find the ordinates are going on decreasing. Obviously the value of the respective bending moment will be less than this value. Hence this is the best position to find out the maximum bending moment at a point C for this point load. Now let us go to this next example. Now here if you see now, two wheel loads 80 kilonewton and 200 kilonewton spaced 2 meter apart moves over a simply supported girder of span 16 meter from one end to the other end, and it is given that any wheel can lead the other, and we have to find the maximum reactions at A and B. Next, maximum shear force at a distance 4 meter from left end, and maximum bending moment at a distance 4 meter from left end. So it is here it is given that any wheel can lead the others. Means what? We have this total two forces, 200 kilonewton and 80 kilonewton. You can change the position of these loads as per your convenience, as per your demand. Hence it is provided that the condition is provided that any wheel can lead the other. You can change the position of 200 or 80 kilonewton as per your convenience. You can lead any force comparing to the other one. And now in this case, this pair of unit load is moving over this girder of span 16 meter from left to right end, and in this case we need to find maximum reactions at A and B, maximum shear force at a one section at a distance 4 meter from left end, and same at the same point we have to find out maximum bending moment at a distance 4 meter from the left end. Now let us discuss first maximum reaction at A. Now again, to find out maximum reaction at A, we need to consider the simply supported beam, and afterwards we need to draw first influence line diagram for reaction at A. So as we know that this is the influence line diagram for reaction at A, which varies from 1 to 0. Now here we have to place this given pair of loads, that is 80 kilonewton and 200 kilonewton, to get the maximum reaction at A. So now in order to get maximum reaction at A, you should place your load over this maximum ordinate to get the maximum reaction. So in this case now, if you place this maximum load, which is 200 at 1, means at a point A, and this 80 kilonewton, which is 2 meter apart from this point A, in this way, if you can see now, here you are getting ordinate as 1, here you are getting ordinate as 0.875. For this combination of this position of these two loads, you will be getting maximum ordinate, that is equal to 1 and 0.875. If you change the position of these two loads now, if I take 80 kilonewton at A and 200 apart from this point A at a distance 2 meter, then whatever calculation you will be getting, the reaction will be less than this combination. So now if to find out maximum reaction at A, here you can get RA is equal to 200 into 1 and 80 into 0.875. So this is the best position of these two loads to get the maximum reaction at A, where you are getting respective ordinates are maximum, that is 1 and 0.875. Here, hence you will be getting maximum reaction is equal to 270 kilonewton. Other than these positions, if you change the position of this 280 kilonewton and if you find maximum reaction or reaction, you will be getting the value which is less than this 270 kilonewton. Now let us go for maximum reaction at B. Now to find out maximum reaction at B, first of all we need to draw the influence line diagram for RB, and similarly we can place this 200 kilonewton at point D and 80 kilonewton at a distance 2 meter from this point, means apart from this 200 kilonewton, and the respective ordinates again you can find 1 and 0.875. These ordinates you can find by the similarity of the triangle, and then finally you will be getting maximum reaction at B. Again the values is same, that is 270 kilonewton. Now let us go to the next part, that is maximum shear force at a distance 4 meter from the left end, that is a point C. Now first of all we need to draw the influence line diagram for shear force at a C, as we know that it varies from 0 to minus A by L and then from plus B by L to 0. Here A is equal to 4 in this case, B is equal to 12 meter in this case. Accordingly you have to find out these two ordinates of this influence line diagram. And now to get the maximum shear force at a point C, now we have to place this 200 kilonewton and 80 kilonewton in this way. Now here we have to divide this case again into two parts. First we'll find the maximum positive shear force at a point C, and then we'll go for maximum negative shear force at a point C. Now if we see now maximum positive shear force at a point C, we need to place our two loads over the positive region of this influence line diagram. This is the positive region of this influence line diagram, where you can see now the maximum ordinate is 0.75 for a positive region. Now over this maximum positive ordinate, you can place your maximum load, which is equal to 200 kilonewton. So 200 into 0.75, obviously you will be getting a maximum value here for this multiplication, and 80 kilonewton you can place it on the right hand side of this 200 kilonewton. So at this distance of 2 meter you have to find out the respective ordinate, so that is equal to 0.625. Now you can find out the maximum positive shear force is equal to 200 into 0.75 plus 80 into 0.625. So here you will be getting a maximum positive shear force as 200 kilonewton. It is be careful about that when you are placing this 200 kilonewton at C. Here there are two values of the ordinates. The one value is for just right of the point C and the second one is for just left of the point C. Here you have taken 200 into 0.75, means that this 200 kilonewton force is placed over just right of point C. It is just at the right of point C. Hence you are taking it as a 0.75. Now let us discuss how to find out the maximum negative shear force. Now to find out the maximum negative shear force, again we need to place this 200 kilonewton again at a point C. But now here it is placed just left of point C. It is just at the left of point C. Here, hence we have to consider the respective ordinate for a 200 kilonewton as minus 0.25, and accordingly you can place this 80 kilonewton on left hand side of this 200 kilonewton at a distance 2 meter. So the respective ordinate you can find it as 0.125. Hence you can find the maximum negative shear force as 200 into 0.25 plus 80 into 0.125. So here you will be getting maximum negative shear force as 60 kilonewton. As already we are saying here it is a negative, hence it is not necessary to again put minus sign there. Now finally we'll move towards the maximum bending moment at a distance 4 meter from left end. So again we have to consider one point C over this beam AB. So now for that, first we'll draw the influence line diagram for bending moment at a point C, where the maximum ordinate here is 3, that is equal to AB by L. So here AB by L you will be getting as 3, where A is 4 and B is equal to 12 and total length L is equal to 16 meter. Now to find maximum bending moment for this particular position at a point C, now how to place this pair of loads. Now here no doubt 200 kilonewton we have to place exactly over a maximum ordinate. Now there are again two chances. The next force, that is 80 kilonewton, you can place it either on right hand side of this point C or on left hand side of this point C. Now how to decide whether this next load, that is 80 kilonewton, to be placed over the right hand side or the left hand side? For that you have to first find out the ordinates in this influence line diagram at a distance 2 meter from on both sides. So if I take a 2 meter distance on right hand side in this diagram, I can find the respective ordinate as 2.5. Similarly, at a distance 2 meter on left hand side, I can again find the respective ordinate in this influence line diagram, that is 1.5. Now it is very easy to understand how to place now the second load, that is 80 kilonewton load. Where you will be having a maximum ordinate, you have to place the second load. So here no doubt you have to place this 80 kilonewton load over this 2.5 ordinate. So here you have to place this 80 kilonewton load on right hand side of this 200 kilonewton. So here in this combination you will be getting a maximum bending moment at a point C is equal to 200 into 3 plus 80 into 2.5, that is equal to 800 kilonewton meter. If you place this 80 kilonewton over this 1.5 ordinate, the whatever value you will be getting here for a bending moment will be less than this. Hence for this combination of this pair of unit loads, you will be getting maximum bending moment at a point C. So this is all about the application of influence line diagram when it is subjected to moving loads. In this video we discussed the moving loads for a especially for a point load and pair of point loads. In the next video we'll be discussing when a simply supported beam is subjected to uniformly distributed load. When a moving load is uniformly distributed load, how to find out again maximum reactions, how to find out maximum shear forces and bending moment at a section, we will discuss in the next video. Thank you.